Did you know that your phone has a professional camera hidden inside of it? Most people just don't know how to access it. Today I'll teach you the settings, the techniques, and the editing tricks to make sure that your summer photos are pro level with the device you already have. First up, one of the hardest things to decide is whether you go portrait or whether you stick with that manual moment to make sure that you get the best that you can. Now, the biggest issue I see when you use portrait is it can sometimes have those harsher edges, and the transition between blur and that focus can be a little bit on the hard side. There are a couple of ways that you can fix that. Obviously, we can do it in manual mode and make sure that we put that focus in after the fact, like this. Or we can make sure we're using those focus to shift between things. This is a great deal if you want to do a revealing shot. Make sure you get used to those focus and the exposure lock to make sure that you can do things like video transitions, take full control of those silhouettes, reveal those hidden secrets within a shadow. And if you're a person who struggles with making sure you've got a consistent exposure across multiple shots, then make sure you lock your exposure to take those multiples. If you're looking to embrace that golden hour, then make sure you lock the exposure onto the subject's face and then recompose to make sure that you've got the sky exactly how you want it. You can use HDR smart method to make sure that it does it all for you, but just have a go yourself first. Hiding in the shaded and avoiding those harsh lights can make photos boring, but staying in the sunlight can create squinty disasters. Here's how to get the most of both worlds. To avoid those unflattering expressions, harsh shadows under the eyes, nose and chin that make people look tired and aged. Consider using the dapper light approach, a good old-fashioned reflector within that open shade, and make sure you use that shade strategically. Now, obviously, if you're heading down to the beach this summer, your phone is going to get destroyed by sand, salt, and everything else. Oh, yeah, suntan cream. So obviously make sure that you're using the Ziploc or some kind of water protection device. Do test them out before you head down to the beach to make sure they're actually waterproof. This is one of my favourites. Make sure you're keeping your phone in the shade because it will overheat. And make sure you take a waterproof portable charger with you because when your phone is hot, it will drain faster. Considering that you might want to take some kind of shield for your lenses on your phone, at the very, very least, make sure you've got a microfiber cloth and clean it frequently. Now, if you're looking for something that's slightly more creative, then make sure you're using your colour theory correctly, capturing those splash moments. Everyone says that you need a fancy camera because a splash spots. Watch me prove them wrong with simple, perfect timing. Or the autofocus is too slow on a phone to be able to capture it in the way that you want it. So you're going to need to go make sure that you go into manual mode and up that shutter speed, or you're going to need to do that pre-focus in advance. Consider doing the exposure compensation, which lowers the exposure by swiping down and tapping on the focus to prevent blown out highlights. Consider using your phone's slow-mo feature, then the exact stills from the video is a perfect splash moment. If you're looking to capture the beauty of nature this summer, then your phone can't really take macro shots, except it totally can with these clever workarounds that doesn't cost much at all. Most phones now have a minimum focus distance, so you need to be aware of what that is. I know that my iPhone Pro has a macro feature within it, which enables you to shift that focus a little bit further. Obviously, you can consider a separate macro lens, which are relatively affordable, but to be honest, I'd take a wider shot and crop it in. You'd be surprised, especially with the amount of revolutions these up-to-date phones have, you can crop down and you won't have that much of an issue. Just consider that if you're struggling to focus, that you might want to use the magnifier's accessibility feature to be able to get the right direction for really small, intricate items. As always, don't forget your reflector or your LED light, because at the end of the day, you're going to need more light than you would normally, considering the amount you're stepping down. Biggest thing I would say to you is, especially when summer photos often need a slightly different treatment when it comes to editing them in post-processing, then you need to consider dealing with the harsh light, your oversaturated colours, your varying white balance, and the greater contrast. So make sure you boost your shadows and pull down your highlights, add warmth to your golden hour. Consider using vibrance, which protects skin tones, instead of saturation, just to help bring that balance. And split toning, so bring your warmer highlights with your cooler shadows for that Instagram look. If you want to make sure that you're creating a consistent style over the summer holidays, then make sure that you are editing your favourite and then copying the settings and tweaking a little. White balance must match across all of them. Which one of these tips were your favourite? Drop me that in the comments below, and until next time, happy clicking. If you want to learn more summer tips, then make sure you check out this video.